Hi, this is John from FlatCatGear, and I'm going to make my lunch. I'm also going to show you a couple of tricks. The first one, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks today. One is from a customer of mine. Conrad is a very interesting guy. He has a simmer ring, and one of the things he told me was a lot of times I recommend you put the stove in a boil mode. When it comes to a boil, flip it over and put it in simmer mode. He said he doesn't bother with that anymore. What he does when he cooks his meals in the pot is he puts it in the simmer mode right away. And the reason he does this is because he goes, I just find it easier because I set up my camp, I start my food right away, I put it on simmer mode. He goes, yeah, it takes longer to boil, but I don't have to remember to turn it to a simmer. So I just let it go. He sets up his camp, he filters water, he's watching the stove the whole time. He goes, and by the time I'm done setting up my camp, my meal's done and I don't have to think about it. So we're going to do that today. Well, the second thing I'm going to do, I'm making my lunch, and I'm making a one-pot meal. And by that meaning I'm gonna cook some rice, I'm gonna cook some sausage in the rice, and I'm gonna steam some eggs all at the same time. This is pretty much a classic Chinese dish that people make. Uses Chinese sausage, and they steam it with the rice, and they steam it with eggs. And I got all of this stuff done, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Now, I've got the rice. It's a half a cup of rice, 1 cup of water. It's already been washed. Now, there's these Chinese sausages that you can get in the store. It's an acquired taste. I happen to like them. I grew up with them as a kid. My wife can't stand them. I don't even cook them in the house when she's at home. But this is really, you can substitute what you want. You can put ground beef in it, you can put Spam in it. The idea is that you're heating up this meat along the same time as you're cooking this rice. Now the other thing we're gonna do is I'm going to steam eggs, and this is really a classic kind of a Chinese dish. What you do is you take eggs and you mix the egg volume 50-50 with water, and you get this like custard. So I've got my Over Easy tart eggs, and what it requires is 2 scoops of eggs to 3 scoops of water makes 1.5 eggs. So to that I've already added 3 scoops of water to make it that 50-50 mix. And now I've got my egg mixture. And the idea is when this steam, it comes out more like a custard than a cooked egg. So to that, because I like to spice it up a bit, I'm adding some chopped jalapenos and some dried onions. And that will rehydrate as it steams. Now how I'm going to do this is, some of you have seen that I have this is the baking pot for the snow leopard system. Turns out that the baking pot for the snow leopard system fits very nicely inside the bobcat pot. So I've got my steamed eggs. I'm just going to place it in there, swirl it around, try and get it down on the bottom as much as possible. So I'm going to add the meat to the outside, except for the one that fell in. And I'm ready to go. Now I'm going to use Conrad's trick. I'm not going to bring it to a boil and turn it to a simmer. I'm going to let it go on and simmer the whole way. So it's probably going to take about 45 minutes to cook. But what Conrad said is, I'm going to try it because, number one, it's effortless. You don't have to think about it. And number two, when you steamed eggs, it's best to steam eggs under a lower heat than a full boil. And you get a clearer, creamier egg. So we're going to light it up and see how it looks. Again, what we're doing is we're going to boil this, heat everything up while it's in the simmer mode the whole time. It's going to take longer to cook, but it's going to take no effort. This has been going on for about 25 minutes. In simmer mode, it's finally reached a boil. So we're going to let that go for 10 minutes and check it. The eggs firming up, getting pretty custardy. So other than that, I haven't done anything, haven't checked it. we're just gonna let it simmer. Get my meal out. Here's my egg. I've used this Over Easy in mixes, but I've never eaten it straight up like an egg. I'll show you this custard. I think what I need to do is put the pot on a little bit of a stand, and that will prevent it from burning just that little bit on the bottom of the pot.